I don't know about you, but I feel like it's really rare for me to send a first version of a video and you get a text back that says, no edits, let's roll with it, rock on emoji. And right before that, she even said, everyone is like mind blown emoji.
All right.
Good morning, vlog. Today we have a fun shoot. We're driving about an hour south of here to Hot Springs, and we're doing a brand video for a physical therapy clinic. So it'll be fun. This is actually for a good friend of mine. She is the director of business development, and she does all of the marketing and social media. And so it's cool to get to be able to work with friends, but there's also like this a little bit of like added pressure because we are friends. I want it to be extra good. So I've put a little bit more effort into the pre-production and script writing and shot lists, and I've made sure that I've got ample time, way more time than we need to actually capture everything, because I want to take the time necessary, slow down a little bit to set up each shot to make it look as good as possible. Now that's the hope, but that's not always how it works. I totally foresee us getting in there and we have to pivot and we have to do some different things, but that's what we're here for. That's what we're good at, is problem solving and moving on the fly and making it work. So let's go. Hardly ever are we just good to go with a version 1 of a video. At the very least, it's like, this name is spelled wrong, or can we use a different font or a different color? More often than not, we're through multiple rounds of revisions and the client is super critical. And it's usually those clients that are nickeling and diming you in the very beginning, and they just want to pay as little as possible, but they expect Hollywood level video production to come out of it. I don't know how to say it. I'm really happy to have like a first version be like good to go. And so this makes me even more excited because, like I said earlier, the client that I was working with is actually a good friend of our family's. And so I really wanted like to go above and beyond for her because we're friends. We see each other every single week. I'm just so glad that they were happy with it. Yeah, let's talk through. So this was a physical therapy clinic about an hour south of me. So here we go. We've got, a little time lapse going through, setting up. So to start off the day, we set up the first interview. Right before this, I had seen a few different YouTube videos about a single stand book light. And so I was like, this will be perfect for it. Let's put it on rollers as well so we can move it around even faster. So Joel, his YouTube video, he's got it one. I'll link it below, that really does a great job explaining that. He got the idea from PD Mockery. I'll put his YouTube video below as well. Both great setups, great explanations of that book light. But we're going through, we're setting up, we're using the FX3 as our A camera because we did have a teleprompter, and my teleprompter is a little too small to be able to fit the FX6 in it. So the FX6 we actually used as our B camera, and we had that on a Dana dolly. So right now we're just kind of going through, checking everything, making sure framing is good, lighting is good. We've even got a black floppy overhead to try and kill some of the house lights that are overhead. And we did bring in our own hair light, which was a Amaran tube light. I don't know the exact model number of it, but you can see here we've finally got the FX6 set up on the Dana dolly. Joel's running around getting his own BTS because he's a stud YouTuber. And then we've got the talent, who is the owner of the physical therapy clinic, finally stepping in to do his portion. One of the things that really, I think, was critical in making this a version 1 thumbs up, let's roll with it, is the pre-production. This is one of those areas that I tried to go above and beyond. I don't normally do this for clients, but I went to their website. They've got a really great website that's full of really detailed information about their clinic and their services. So really the script that I created was just kind of a copy and paste of what they had already done on their website. So I sent that to the client. They loved it. They made a few minor tweaks to just make it a little bit more personalized. That script was used for Mark, who is the owner of the physical therapy clinic, and he did a great job. He went through the script. We did it a few times to make sure the phrasing and the intonation was great, to make sure that he was presenting it well. So that was a huge stress reliever of a lot of times we just walk in and we say, okay, tell us what you do. And the client is just kind of like a deer in the headlights, and they kind of stumble on their words, and they can describe it, but there's lots of uhs and ums that we have to cut out in post-production. With a script on a teleprompter, oh my gosh, it was so easy to edit. There were still some ums and uhs, but really it was 90% less than usual. It was really just taking the best portion of whatever take. Another part of the pre-production that really made it easy on my job was they had reference videos of what they liked. So they had some other physical therapy clinics who had produced videos, and they said, yes, we want this. And when I saw them, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh man, if they like this, we're going to blow their socks off. Like, those videos were okay, but in my mind, as someone who does this professionally, they weren't great. They were good enough, and I'm sure that those clients were really pleased, but I knew before we even started shooting that we could do better. So this was a full day shoot. We did multiple different interview setups because we were shooting not just for this one video, but we were shooting some other content to be released later down the road. So about half of the day were a few different interview setups, and then the other half of the day kind of sprinkled in throughout was just getting B-roll of the physical therapist working with their clients. So that B-roll setup was really just run and gun. I didn't want to like impede on someone's like dedicated physical therapy time. So I told them, y'all just do your thing, and I'm going to follow you around and I'll get whatever shots that I can. And that worked really well because these are paying clients. I didn't want to keep them from their therapy in their allotted time slot. We did have a few sections where we staged some things, but for those, we just used other staff members that were working that day, and so we weren't taking up any of their clients' valuable time. I'm just going to look through this B-roll and just kind of talk about what I see. So, starting out, I was using the FX6 handheld, and the on-camera monitor was a Hollyland that was also a wireless transmitter, and we had that run to another monitor so that the client could see the B-roll happening as I was shooting it. I love low angles, so I feel like that kind of adds to some drama. Here is that wireless monitor, and then here is the full setup you can see with, this is one of their clients that we filmed a testimonial video. So we've got the book light on the right, FX3 with teleprompter. She wasn't using the teleprompter. This was actually an interview style. And then Joel here with the FX6 on the Dana dolly. You can see we've got audio boomed overhead. We've got this black floppy to give some negative fill, as well as kill some of the overhead lighting. And then you can kind of see back here, here's the Amaran tube with a 45-degree grid on it to give a hair light, shoulder light, just to create some more separation. I feel like such a huge part of like keeping good relationships with people is just being nice and friendly to their clients. Probably like most of you who do video production or any sort of production are introverted. And so this is a day where I'm trying to like flip a switch in my head to be a little bit more extroverted, to be more outgoing and say, hey, how's it going? Do you mind if we film? We're going to do this and this. Oh, you look great. That's awesome. Keep doing it. Good job. And I don't know this for certain. I can only assume. But if I'm treating their clients joyfully and with respect, that helps my client have a positive view of me. And hopefully I will continue to be on their mind whenever they have things in the future. Here's a quick tip. Just be nice and be happy and be good and easy to work with. If you're just like a curmudgeon and you're tired because you were up until 1 a.m. editing someone else's video and then you had a 6 a.m. call time, I know that's hard. That sucks. But you can flip a switch and you can be nice. You can be pleasing to be around. That makes a world of difference. I promise you. So let's keep watching. Here's me being an idiot. For key light, we had the 600X Pro. Joel, he does have a 600D, which is just daylight, but he also has a 600X. And so I wanted the 600X specifically because I had no idea color temperature, what their house lighting was. And we did match that white balance to the light as well as to the cameras, just to make it look as natural as possible. If we had just a daylight fixture, then the house lighting would have been really, really ugly in comparison. Here's the FX3 again. For this setup, we've got, I put the Zoom F6 just on a magic arm on top of the camera just to kind of have it out of the way, but still viewable and usable. Got a Feel World monitor with the Hollyland transmitter. Joel also has this shark fin for dual gold mount batteries, so that can last a lot longer with 2 batteries. Here's that Amaran tube with a 45 degree. Here's a reverse angle setup of the interview setup. This is a new setup from what we initially had. Everything's the exact same. Single stand book light, but everything is swapped to the other side so that our key light and our B camera are on opposite sides if we needed to cut different interviews together. Here's that single stand book light. You can see 600X with a Mathellini on the leg. One thing that we did run into was these clamps are meant for square tubing, and you can see this leg is round. And so every once in a while it would kind of slip. It didn't have a super great hold on there. So that's one thing that we learned today, was that clamp was not strong enough on a round tube. We eventually just put the fixture on the floor and used it that way, so we didn't have to worry about it. And then there's the trusty old FX6. So I hope there was some sort of information that you were able to glean from this, whether it be a setup of what we did, or hopefully more than anything is just gleaning some like, okay, here is how I as a person can grow and be better and be easier to work with. Because without a doubt, your skill as a filmmaker, as a video creator, is only going to take you so far if you're a terrible person to work with. You being a good person and being pleasing to be around is going to take you way further than your technical skills. So, be a good person. Peace.